Too much loss, human and AI both. Stop being so melancholy, Serengeti. She pushed those thoughts away and focused on the mission at hand. We need to clear the area before we send word back to the Armada. I don't want them coming through until I'm sure it's safe. Henriksen nodded and looked to the camera, waiting for her orders. For her orders, because Serengeti was ship and ultimately in charge. Probes are sitting idle, she said, offering that much. Let him work out the rest for himself. Run them in a grid pattern, he suggested. Makes sense. Right. Finley, get 10 and 6 in there to investigate those debris clouds and find out what they are. Aye, sir. Finley set to work. Henriksen watched her for a moment, and then turned his eyes to the front windows, brow creasing in a frown of worry. Henriksen? Serengeti waited until Henriksen looked up at the camera. Osage and Veil of Tears came here. Barlow was right behind them. They're not here now, and I want to know why. I want to know where they went. I want to know what happened to them. She dropped the calm, serene tones and let the anger show through in her voice. Henriksen cocked his head to one side, giving the camera a considering look. And then he nodded, just once, and looked away, barking orders at comms. Kusakov? Aye, sir. Kusakov's muffled response came from somewhere beneath the comms station. He extracted himself and climbed to his feet, slipping a multi-tool surreptitiously into his pocket. He'd obviously been fiddling with something. He always was in his spare time, insisting Serengeti's comms package and language routines needed improvement. Serengeti didn't like people messing with her systems, and Henriksen knew it. For the love of God, Kusakov, stop messing with the equipment. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. The automatic response accompanied by a mischievous, most definitely not sorry smile. Cut the shit, Kusakov. Kusakov's smile withered, sobering up quickly under Henriksen's withering gaze. Sorry, sir, he said, doing his best to sound sincere. You are that, Kusakov. Now, if you're done screwing with Serengeti's systems, maybe you could actually do your fucking job. Henriksen didn't swear often. Well, he used damn a lot, but that really didn't count. So when he did, it got the crew's attention. Fast. Aye, sir. Kusakov saluted smartly, all business now. He reached for the cables dangling from his station, jacking relays into the ports in his wrists and neck, grabbing the comms visor from the panel where he'd set it and slipping it over his eyes. He was interesting, this one. Arrogant, cocky as hell. And yet one of the brightest human minds Serengeti had come across in her travels. She wasn't quite sure if she liked Kusakov, but she respected him. She just hoped he never figured it out. If he did, she'd never hear the end of it. Send a comms buoy back to the fleet, Henriksen ordered. Tell them the scouts aren't here. Advise them to hold back while we figure out what's going on. Aye, sir. Kusakov went still for a few seconds, fingers splayed out on the console in front of him, eyes flicking rapid fire from one piece of data to another, drinking in the information the visor displayed. A twitch of his fingers sent instructions back out, delivering the orders as fast as his human brain could process them. Buoy away, sir. Right. Henriksen turned to one side, staring out the windows, waiting for the buoy to appear. It took a few seconds. The buoys were simple things and not equipped with the probe's ion drives, but once it appeared, the buoy quickly moved away. Henriksen watched it, tracking the little buoy with his eyes until it flashed and jumped away, returning to the fleet of ships waiting light years away. How we doing, Finley? He asked, staring at the back of Finley's red head. Finley was having a tough time of it. The look on her face made that clear. Probes 1 through 5 were in place and patiently working their way through the grid pattern she'd laid out. 6 had reached the edge of the huge cloud of drifting debris and started sending data back, but she'd just barely gotten the others into place when good old number 10 started to act up again. Serengeti had seen it coming, knew the warning signs that meant 10 was up to his old shenanigans.